Let's get on with the show.
Yeah, let's get on with it.
Let's get on with it.
Let's get on with the show, bruv.
From WBNE.
Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And today is Monday.
And this is Bacon and Eggs.
So bring back the Mandalorian.
And make a set of teeny tiny baby Beskar chainmail.
Because today we're bringing you
The Book of Boba Fett / The Mandalorian.
So today we're talking about episodes 4 and 5, The Gathering Storm and The Return of the Mandalorian. These were directed by Kevin Tencharon and Bryce Dallas Howard, respectively. It came out on January 19th and January 26th, which were, I guess, 12 and 5 days ago, respectively. And they got a 90 and 100 on Rotten Tomatoes. I do kind of want to address the elephant in the room real quick. We are talking about 2 episodes, which is not what we normally do.
That's true.
We just kind of got a little behind last week, so sorry about that. But now we're back together. And the other elephant in the room is that these are probably the worst 2 episodes to combine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because one of them's not even for this show.
Yeah. So, what I remember the original pitch being, and I don't know when this changed. I haven't kept up with the press releases, but the original pitch was there would be 4 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, and then Mandalorian Season 3 would start, and they would run concurrently for 4 weeks.
That doesn't appear to be what's happened.
It does not appear to be what's happening. As far as I can tell, Season 3 of The Mandalorian has not been filmed yet.
Really?
Yeah, or if it has, then it very recently finished.
No, I didn't know that. I
It's
thought it
slated
was done
for
and
end
ready
of
to go.
this year instead of end of last year. Beginning of this year. But anyway, so Friday was supposed to be the day when Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 1 came out.
But it's not, obviously.
Obviously, yes.
But they did film like a Christmas special, which is what we saw this week.
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it a Christmas special.
Well, I mean, it's like a one-off.
It's like Too Mando, Too Furious, right? It's the whole scene from Fast and Furious 1 where they're like, it's going to be a lot of wrench time, but, 2 JZ engines, we got it. And they're fixing up the Supra.
Yeah. Can I just... okay, I want to...
I do not. First of all, I just want to I want to get an elephant out of the room. I don't remember a damn thing that happened in episode 4.
I was going to say the same thing. That's when... So that explains how...
Oh, yeah, how Fennec and Boba got together.
How they got together
because
and how
I was
that started.
Yeah, I was reading the description, and it was like, Boba Fett teams up with legendary mercenary Fennec Shand. And I was like, yeah, no dip.
I remember that. While seeing that on Disney Plus, I was like, yeah, that's what the show's about.
That's the premise of the show. And then it was about their past, right? It was a cool episode.
They got Slave 1 up and running. They go fly into the Sarlacc pit. Oh, there's a seismic charge.
Yeah. We got to hear that noise.
Yeah,
every time I play, I can listen to that noise all day. Yeah. It's almost as good as the Darksaber music or the Dark Trooper music.
Oh my god, that was so good too.
The end of season 2, when it's just like normal score.
Do you think? Here's what I want to know, Ethan. Is this the best episode of The Mandalorian?
No.
Maybe except for the season 2 finale.
No, it's like maybe 5 or 6.
It's so good.
It's not as good as the Krayt Dragon episode.
How did you feel? This was kind of a weird experience for me. I didn't know this was coming. I had seen people talking about like, oh, episode 5, Din Djarin's in it. And I was like, oh my God, what a cool cameo. What a cool end of episode. We'll have a little team up in the final episode. Great. No.
Yeah, no.
This is an episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I had such a weird feeling in my heart when Din popped up on screen because I was like, I love this character in ways I cannot describe.
He's so sad without Grogu.
He's so
and
sad.
He makes tiny baby chainmail for Grogu.
And he puts it in a little pouch.
Little pouch.
Little Grogu
Does he carry around with him until he gets to meet Grogu again?
And Grogu's going to be a badass Jedi that wears chainmail.
Yeah. It's going to be Tar Vizsla reincarnate.
Who's Tar Vizsla?
He's the Jedi Mandalorian.
Oh. This isn't D&D. Like, you can wear chainmail and use the Force.
Yeah, but he's the Jedi Mandalorian. There's only been one.
Well, now there have been two.
Well, yeah, well.
There
Grogu,
will
I
have-
don't think has taken the creed
Of
Mandalore.
this is the way. This is never remove the helmet.
Yeah, well, and I'm glad we got back to the armor and Paz Vizsla, because it just reminds me of the whole, like, anti-evangelist narrative that's going on here with
Yeah.
that they keep throwing in, where, like, yeah, Dan, you were in a cult, my dude.
Not only were you in a cult, you were like an outcast of that cult you
cult,
were
yeah.
in. Like, they didn't even like you there.
Yeah, yeah. And as soon as
who
she
does
started
like
talking
you?
crap about, Bo-Katan and being like, she is a cautionary tale, I was like, yes, this narrative, this old chestnut that we're getting back to. Of Jon Favreau being like, listen, we got a lot of things to cover in this season. We're also just going to take a stab at contemporary Christianity. Just every now and then, just poke that bear.
I do. So here's my problem with the Mando episode, in that it is so good being in the middle of Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett's great, right? I love it. It's fantastic. We got Mandalorian armor. Sometimes we've got like a big, poorly outfitted Wookiee with like Power Ranger looking.
We've got Danny Trejo as a Rancor trainer.
We got Danny Trejo as a Rancor trainer, but the characters, despite Boba Fett being from 1970 or 1980 even, is not as developed as Din Djarin. So like we're in the middle of this like early development between Fennec Shand and Boba Fett. Then we get this character that we have like the world has fallen in love with and invested time in.
Yeah.
And it's like, we've seen a lot of great development, but it's on Tatooine, right? It's not
right.
He's not making friends with people all over the universe and then call them in for one big final mission.
Not yet.
Yeah. I do. Din Djarin has a Naboo starfighter.
Yeah. And they spend half the episode like fixing it up in like a fix it up montage.
Yes.
It's great. Fantastic.
Great. He flies Bunta. He flies the pod race
The
track.
old Beggars Canyon run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He a Naboo starfighter, underrated ship. I think I'm not going to ask you to pull up the clip because I can't guarantee that it's there. I think in our Phantom Menace episode, I mentioned that the Naboo starfighter has always been one of my favorite Star Wars ships.
I would agree with that, yeah, because it was like secretly unlockable in Star Wars Rogue Squadron. And I was so jazzed about that, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You could do like an old-fashioned cheat code.
Like they had a cheat screen, or like you had to go to the home screen?
No, you had to like left, back, right, down.
BA start.
Yeah. And it'd be like Naboo Starfighter unlocked.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah. And what's her name? The mechanic? I always forget it.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah. She's always great. Got to check in with her once every, 8 or 9 episodes of stuff.
Yeah.
Just really, really sell that narrative. Her and her cool droids. She's got a new one, like a baby droid. It's adorable.
She got a BD unit?
Yeah.
So are you familiar with the BD unit?
No. It's adorable, though.
It is adorable. It's a great droid. It is also the droid that is in the game. The Star Wars game, Fallen Order.
Okay.
So like in Fallen Order, which is fantastic, you would really, really like it. You run around as let me get you the clear answers.
Does it have Kyle Katarn in it?
No, but it's got Cal Kestis.
Okay. I'm familiar with that guy.
Yeah, and his sort of buddy is that BD unit.
Oh,
so
okay.
like, so there's this kind of like, oh my god, is Cal Kestis going to be in in Star Wars, and he's played by Cameron Monaghan. It's like a mocap, so he looks like Cameron Monaghan. So they could like literally just get Cameron Monaghan.
Who's Cameron Monaghan?
He's I don't know. He's an actor.
Oh, you were saying that like he's somebody.
He played Cal Kestis.
Okay.
I don't know what else he's done. He was in Click. He was in The Giver. He was in Gotham. He was the Joker in Gotham.
Okay.
So anyway, you play as Cal Kestis, and you get this little BD unit, and he's who heals you in the game. And so, you know, there's this like question like, oh my God, is that the BD unit from Fallen Order?
Well, we'll find out.
Cause yeah. Oh man. I hope we find out.
Does Dave Filoni have anything to do with Fallen Order?
I don't know that he does.
Because it seems like we only get to get Circle Jerk properties from Dave Filoni stuff.
I know, which is a little sad. There's a lot of really good books out there, and there's some good comic series as well. Dr. Aphra, that's a Star Wars thing, right?
I have no idea.
Yes, it is.
Anyway, yeah, so we get a whole episode of The Mandalorian here. After we get a whole episode about Boba's past, and it just like, it was a pretty good episode, right? There were no Power Ranger bikers. I know they were pretty divisive among the general fan base.
They were in it briefly, I think. They mentioned them, right? They're like calling the mods.
Yeah, maybe, but they weren't on screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, people hated those guys. Hated them.
Well, I mean, yeah, I wasn't crazy about them either. But what are they going to do? Like, literally, what are they going to do?
Stop watching.
No, what is Jon Favreau going to do?
What do you mean?
Like, what is he supposed to do? If it's already all filmed, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, oh man, we freaking hate those bikes. If they're in another episode, we riot. We get on our colored motorcycles and we drive on down to where does Jon Favreau work?
I have no idea.
Hollywood, baby.
Or here's what he did. Maybe he was like, okay, we had, you know how we have that Mandalorian season 3 pilot ready to go at any point? Let's drop it. Just drop it in. Just put it in there.
Just do it. Just do it.
They'll go
we need
nuts.
a week.
They'll go nuts. Buy us a week. We'll reshoot. It's fine. None of these people are busy. Yeah,
I do just want to tell you something real quick.
Okay.
You know, a minute ago I was like, man, we only ever get stuff from the Dave Filoni catalog. When are we going to get stuff from Dr. Aphra, the Star Wars, critically acclaimed Star Wars comic on screen?
I don't know.
You know who's in Dr. Aphra?
No.
Chrysanthemum.
Oh, the Dark Wookiee.
Yeah.
Well, seems like he's had a pretty sordid past, though.
Yeah, he's been in the series for a while. He was one of Disney's first characters. First showed up in Marvel Comics' Darth Vader comic book series on February 11th, 2015.
What?
Yeah.
Did you say Marvel Comics Darth Vader?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Bill!
Whoops, I didn't know you were doing this tonight.
Yeah, I'm doing it tonight and tomorrow.
Oh. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know anything about Dr. Aphra.
Well, maybe we'll read it together one day.
No, that's not going to happen.
Man, you fight it. You fight it.
Because I have no interest in comics. Or
But
really any expanded Star Wars crap.
I'm giving it to you. I'm saying let's do this together.
Yeah, but I don't want to do it.
All right. We'll see.
There's enough of this stuff that there's like 4 more shows that are coming out this year.
I know. They're going to be all so good.
Maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
I have lower expectations for the Ahsoka show than I did for WandaVision. So
yeah, I definitely have lower. My problem with that is like, I so badly wish that I could really enjoy the Clone Wars animated series. I know we have this conversation all the time.
yeah,
Like,
I just don't understand your way of thinking here.
Everybody raves about it. Well, I mean, it brings a lot of people I really care about a lot of joy. So, like, I wish that I could get that same joy out of it. And I just can't, man. Every time I try, it's just, I don't know what it is about me. I'm even stuck. I've been on the same episode of Rebels for like 2 years now.
You should give up. Watch something else.
Well, yeah, I do. I watch a lot of other things. We watch stuff for this show all the time.
I'm telling you, man. You watch something that's not for this show. It'll change your life.
I've been watching all sorts of stuff not for this show. I've been watching Great British Bake Off with Emily.
I've been complaining about the Great British Bake Off.
Here's my thing about Great British Bake Off. People talk about it. So I did watch like 4 or 5 episodes and I got sucked in, right? Like it got me.
Yeah.
So I'll grant you that one. People talk about it like this wholesome show with these characters that are so interesting. Like, I brought up my favorite cooking show, which is Triple G, in our conversation, in our private chat. And you guys were like, Triple G is not as wholesome as Great British Bake Off. And I
it's not even my favorite Guy Fieri
you.
property, and it's definitely not my favorite cooking show.
Fieri.
No, you're good. You're fine.
Guy Fieri.
It's okay.
It is definitely his best show, and it is definitely hilarious. Not hilarious, wholesome. What am I trying to say?
I'm not saying it's not wholesome. I'm saying it's not the Great British Bake Off.
I mean, like, yeah, GBBO or GBBS, whatever we're calling it, it's good. It's great. I would continue to watch it. I think God's love big enough for both.
Yeah, no one's saying
but
it's not.
But that's the thing. No, people don't think they're on the same plane, but they are.
Well, they're just not, though.
Triple G is so slept on.
You are the youngest person in the world that watches Triple G.
You're the youngest person in the world that watches the Great British Baking Show.
That's not true. Everyone watches the Great British Bake Off.
Everyone?
Everyone. Yes.
Even Paul Hollywood's like a jerk. You know who's not a jerk? Guy Fieri.
Paul Hollywood's not a jerk.
Yes, he is. He's like mean to them all the time.
He's not
like,
mean to them.
And he gives them tasks where they're like, your technical challenge today is to bake a cake. And they're like, oh shit, I've never baked a cake before. I think a cake is, oh, rubbish. Here comes the guy from the Mighty Boosh.
Yeah. Noel's great.
And then Paul Hollywood's like, what do you mean you've never baked a cake before? Everybody's baked a cake.
That's just not how any of this goes.
It's exactly how all of it goes. Every single challenge, there's somebody that's like, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Because they could... What would happen if you went on the Great British Bake Off right now and they were like, hey, bake a Battenberg?
If they were like, bake a cake, I'd be like, I genuinely don't know how. I can make a pound cake, pound of butter, pound of flour. I got this one in the bag, baby.
You think they call it like a half kilo cake?
Do they?
I don't know.
They probably call it sponge cake.
Nope. Sponge cake is something different.
No, they don't. Yeah. What do they call it? Hold on. What do British people call pound cake? They're not telling me.
Knowing the British is probably something like cakey, wakey, fluffy boy or some crap like that.
A drizzle cake is from Great British Baking Off. The Great British are baking off. That sounds like a dirty thing. A drizzle cake is basically a pound cake with holes poked into it to allow the drizzle dash a thin sugar icing mixed with fruit juice.
See,
so no,
I
I've been
prefer the cooking shows that have like that have like a whole season long challenge.
So that's the best episodes of Triple G as well. So if you're not aware of the tournaments, then I don't know that you really understand Triple G. Like if you haven't watched, you know, the like 7-8 episode long season finales where they take all your favorite judges and have them compete against each other, you know, like, and they really do wholesome stuff and they talk all about the charities they're supporting, or they bring in winners from years past who talk about like sending their kids to college or finally having that nice honeymoon, or even smaller stuff of being like, I want, you know, I'm a cook from the inner city of Baltimore. It would be so amazing if I could buy my son shoes, name brand Jordans, to go to school. And that's a big deal. Listen, a lot of people don't realize this, but like the culture surrounding shoes in schools, I was just talking to somebody about this in town. You can't just, like, if there are kids in need, you can't just give them $8 shoes from Walmart. That will, yeah, it will protect their feet, but socially will knock them down pegs. So when you do like a shoe drive to donate shoes to kids in need, you should bring name brand shoes, because we did this in Roanoke. We provided shoes to like, I think it was like 60% of the school of it was either 60 or 40% of the city schools students didn't have shoes. They raised like $50,000 in like 3 months. It was amazing. And they had to get name brands. They had to get Nike. They had to get Jordans. They had to get, you know, all this stuff, because if they didn't, there was a social implication. It was dangerous.
This is not a very small picture of you.
This is not, no, this is at a networking lunch so that I could focus on my career, that I learned all of this.
Yeah.
It was also about, I think that's a pretty small picture, raising $50,000 to give back in your own community.
Not when you're saying that this is why I watch Guys Grocery Games, is because somebody can buy Jordans for their kid in Baltimore.
That's true. But I don't know. I just, Triple G's so good. Guy's such a good guy. He's the best.
Yeah, that's fine.
I would
no
say,
one's
like,
taking this away from you. They're just saying, watch the Great British Bake Off.
I think if you put Guy Fieri on Bake Off, that's a show. A lot of people think he'd be all about Flavor Town. No, I don't think so. I think he could tone it down while still having the Flames
I don't think
t-shirt.
you could tone it down far enough for that show.
If Noel can be on that show, oh yeah.
Yeah, but Noel's British. They all have that extra, like, half gear that we don't.
Yeah, I can't.
I can't
calm
go that.
down.
I can't go that chill ever, ever.
It's because we don't do tea every day. We do coffee.
Yeah,
I do coffee like 6 times a day.
yeah.
You remember in college, we lived with a guy named Stephen Plotz, or I lived with a guy named Stephen Plotz, and he would make an entire carafe, like 12 cups of coffee, twice a day.
That's insane.
Stephen didn't have many vices. Maybe he did. Nothing was a vice to Stephen. There was no guilt in anything he was doing. If it relaxed you, then that was more important than whatever it was. And I don't want to say that to be like Stephen was all in on the drugs. He wasn't.
He just drank
But
a lot
you know
of
what I
coffee.
mean? Like, he drank a lot of coffee. And he was really healthy otherwise. Which, like, coffee's not that bad.
As long as we're talking about vices, so the Pike Syndicate is running spice through Mos Espa and Mos Eisley. That's not cool with anybody.
Yeah, nobody
Everyone
likes that.
hates it. Everyone hates the Pikes.
Yes.
They've taken 2 entire episodes to show us that they're going to have to fight the Pike Syndicate.
Yes, and they're going to need Din Djarin's help to do it.
They're going to need Din Djarin's help to do it. I wouldn't rule out Bill Burr showing back up. Just like riding a space bantha, like
that would be the best.
got like
Bill Burr's character,
like a rocket-powered bantha, just like yeehaw, let's go.
What do you think the odds are that in the show that they're doing for the dude from Rogue One?
Cassian Andor?
Yeah. What if they just change the name of that show from Andor to And Burr, and it's just like Bill Burr's character? I think ultimately that would be a bad thing.
What do I think the odds of that happening are? I'm going to go with a fat 0%. I can pretty much...
You guarantee they're not going to name the show after the actor?
Yeah. I can guarantee you a lot of things that you just said aren't going to happen.
I I think it would be a step backwards for Hollywood, right? Like, obviously, you just took one of the few Hispanic characters in Star Wars and just yeeted him away in favor of Bill Burr.
A raunchy white comedian.
A raunchy white comedian.
Yeah, no, I don't have any feelings about the Cassian Andor show whatsoever.
I just, lately, I've just wanted to absorb myself in Star Wars.
Because we got that one scene in Rogue One where he was like, I'm a fucking stone-hearted killer. And the rest of the movie, he was like, I am a teddy bear.
I am very sweet. This is K2SO.
So I have no idea what I think is going to happen in that show.
Many Bothans
Other than a
died
really
to bring
sassy
us
droid
this
happening.
intel. You think K2SO will be in it? Alan Tudyk?
Yeah.
Oh, that
Absolutely.
would make me so happy. That was such a good character.
Yeah, it was. And he died.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. He's a droid.
He was shot a lot.
He was shot a lot. But he's also a droid.
I was going to say, like, wouldn't that be a cool opening to the show? Is like the Cassian Andor show actually takes place after Rogue One. And,
Yeah.
and
Cassian's
Cassian
alive.
survived. And I was like, oh, no, wait a minute. No, he's definitely not alive.
Yeah, that would break a lot of things.
Yeah. If you could survive a strike from the Death Star.
Yeah, Bail Organa, also alive.
Yeah.
Just chill. Him and Cassian Andor chilling.
When was the last time you watched a Star Wars movie?
Sometime last year.
Yeah.
Watched,
you just throw
watched
one on?
the old Force Awakens
That's a good one.
and maybe like half of The Last Jedi.
I'll throw those two on.
I think I
pretty
fell
often.
asleep.
I've been hitting that OT a lot lately.
Yeah, I noticed. You said you made some ridiculous pro Empire statement the other day,
What?
where you were like, I think you're backsliding on your rankings and letting Empire creep back up there in a way that it shouldn't.
Oh, I thought you meant like I was saying like I am.
No, for the Empire of the
Empire.
movie, not Empire of the concept.
Right.
Yeah, you gave me a list that I was just, I think, wholesale unhappy with.
Well, you
Almost-
and I have, because it started with Lord of the Rings, and you and I have different feelings about Lord of the Rings, where you put Two Towers on top. And
I still
Fellowship
cannot
on the
believe that
bottom.
there's any world in which you think The Fellowship is the best Lord of the Rings movie.
I honestly like.
It's simply not.
It's not even close for me.
You're correct. It's not even close.
No, like Fellowship is so insanely good, and then when it gets to be all like fight scenes and battle scenes constantly,
No, see,
it's like they like took away what they promised us with this cozy, amazing fantasy story with a dark evil in it.
or they never asked. They never said it was going to be cozy though.
I know, and that's why the series is so great because, like, obviously 2 and 3 are like I genuinely think anybody can say any of the 3 of those is their favorite. At the end of the day, the comparison between them all is very close.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not like let me put it this way: it's not like Star Wars where there are like bad movies.
yeah, no, for sure. Well, there are the Hobbit movies.
Right. Yeah.
What was your ranking?
Let me see if I can.
Also, you said the Lord of the Rings movies. That you liked those more than
Yeah.
all the Star Wars
So?
movies. That just surprised me.
It was a question of film quality. I
Oh, yeah.
believe.
Well, and that's the problem I had is the question of film quality. You rated Two Towers as the worst of the 3, which just is simply not true. Fellowship is a full hour too long.
It's full out too short. That'd be my only
No, it's
complaint.
not. Yeah, you said 8574. There, Tyler, I love you. You are my best friend, man. You're the closest thing I've ever had to a brother and ever will. There's no world in which that there is not just some deep trauma that's been inflicted on you that you think Empire Strikes Back is a better movie than The Force Awakens. It is simply and categorically untrue.
You know what's so funny is I would say Empire is the original trilogy movie I watched the least.
Yeah, I would agree with that. No, Jedi is, but I could see you.
Because I'll put on 4 with the intention to watch all 3, and then like obviously I'll get up
Yeah.
and not watch the other
Yeah.
2. And then I'll be like, oh man, I haven't watched Return of the Jedi in years. And then I'll throw that on. Because I'll be like, oh, let me start with 4, but I never quite make it to Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And so kind of what's happened is...
You've been like, I just gotta watch
5
Return of
goes
the
missing.
Jedi. Yeah.
Right.
The Force Awakens is a perfect Star Wars movie. I just want to make that clear.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's so good.
It's fantastic. Rey is amazing. In this one, Finn, still amazing. Poe, I don't think gets enough screen time in the first one. I think, because I even remember...
He doesn't get enough screen time in the whole trilogy.
Well, in the third one, he has like a whole side quest where they're like, you used to be a spice runner? And he's like, yes. This is the freaking Resistance.
Yeah, we all used to be spice runners.
Right. Like, what are you talking about?
Hey, none of us are good people.
Right. Like, we are still, this is like a gray area, right? We all know that, right? We are like sort of the gray.
You guys know we're terrorists, right? Like,
right. Right. They're not. So the politics of the sequel trilogy would set it up in such a way that they're not. It is genuinely a war in this one. Like, it's not, because there's the New Republic and then there's the First Order, which is almost like an insurrectionist group.
yeah.
But so it's...
But the New Republic also sucks.
Well, they got 7 of their planets blowed up, so...
Well, no, I mean, we're being shown in these TV shows that the New Republic kind of sucks.
Yes, correct.
Although they got one kind of cool cop that's shown up a couple times now.
Yeah. And Mando's there.
And
Din
Mando's
Djarin.
there. Yeah, but he does not belong to the New Republic.
I don't think I realized... I know I said this before, but I don't think I realized that Din Djarin might be my favorite Star Wars character until he showed up.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Just because we were so abundantly blessed for so long.
Yeah.
And now we're the farthest we've ever been. Well, I guess this is a Mandalorian episode, but we're the farthest we've ever been from the Mandalorian coming out since it first came out.
I know. I don't like that. The thing is, he wears a mask. Like, he'd be fine on set. There's no reason you can't shoot.
Yeah, I mean, if Pedro Pascal's not even in the suit.
He is sometimes.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is.
No.
What?
Yeah.
Get out.
The only time he's been in the suit was that one scene in the second Bill Burr episode.
No way.
Dead serious. There's a skinny guy and a big guy.
I don't know.
And Pedro Pascal does only voice acting.
Oh, so I'm reading about it right now. It's not that he does only voice acting. The headline here, and the headline is an article. I think everybody knows that. It says Pedro Pascal isn't in the Mandalorian suit as much as you think. So I guess like it is the Star Wars things. This article points out that like James Earl Jones wasn't in
The Darth Vader suit
Vader
ever,
suit.
yeah.
Right, like
I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but
yeah.
yeah, it definitely like sort of raises the question of like how did you have filming problems?
Well, like the actors that are in the suit are also people, right?
Right, but what are they doing?
I don't know.
Who else? Who's in the Mandalorian?
Bill Burr.
What's he doing? Nothing.
Yeah, probably not.
What Mark Hamill doing? Nothing.
What's that comedian? He's big right now. He doesn't wear a shirt.
Bert Kreischer.
Bert Kreischer. What do you think of him?
I have tickets to see him.
Do you
like
really?
2 weeks, yeah.
Here in town.
Yeah, here in town.
Yeah, I knew he was coming.
I think he's hilarious.
Yeah. Do you?
Yeah.
I can't get a read on him.
He wears a shirt now.
No, I don't think he does.
I think he does. I think it was just that one tour.
I don't know. I can't get a good read on the dude. I heard that story. I've seen a lot of his stuff, and everybody remembers that story he does about the Russian bear thing.
Yeah, it's one of the funniest pieces of stand-up comedy I've ever heard in my life.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff. He's big, right? He's very big.
He's very big
now.
right now. You should watch. He was just recently on Tom Segura's podcast. They were really funny.
Yeah?
I watched that episode. I really like Tom Segura as well.
Who's Tom Segura?
Tom Segura is another stand-up comedian.
Would I recognize him?
Probably.
I don't know that I do.
He's having a moment on TikTok. He's the guy that has that bit about, like, first of all, there's white people in Mexico. As the guy's like, no, I don't.
I've not heard that bit.
Really? Oh my God. I'm just saying, it's so funny. There's white people, there's black people, there's Asian people. And it's really going to blow your mind. Those Asian people, they speak Spanish too. It's so funny.
I have heard that.
Yeah.
I have heard that.
Yeah, that's Tom Segura. He's hilarious. He's big he's a big Netflix guy. I've watched all his specials on Netflix. He's hysterical.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're enjoying those.
Yeah, I've been getting into comedy more than
Comedy.
I have been in the past.
Comedy.
Comedy. Yeah, somehow I've been to very few comedy shows in my life, despite the fact that other than country concerts, that's literally all we get in this town.
Yeah, I've seen a few good ones. I've seen Seinfeld.
Yeah, I've somehow managed to never see Seinfeld when he came through.
I've seen Amy Schumer.
That sounds awful.
You know what's weird? We listened to one of her first stand-up albums in the car, and we laughed out loud. It was fantastic. Really excellent stuff. We watched when she had that kind of moment in Hollywood. We watched most of those movies, and people would trash them, but I thought they were hilarious. And then we went and saw her perform, and I don't think I laughed the entire time.
That sucks.
And that made me really sad. I think Emily enjoyed it, but we were really kind of riding this train. I don't know if she did something that would make her be canceled or whatever, truthfully. And I pardon my ignorance on that.
I think she did, but I don't really remember. In my mind.
Yeah,
she vanished completely.
Yeah. But we were kind of riding that train, and it was really disappointing to go to a show we were really excited about and it not be good.
Well, I'm so back and forth on comedians and which comedians I do and don't like. Because all you ever hear is especially in the age of TikTok, you hear the same bits over and over to the point where before I ever watched a John Mulaney special, I was I want nothing to do with John Mulaney. Just his whole presence was so oh my God, shut up. Stop speaking. Why do you talk like that? And then I watched one of his specials. I was just finally I'm going to give the dude a chance. And it was hilarious, right?
He's very funny.
Yeah. And I used to love Kevin Hart. And I watched the most recent Kevin Hart special. And I was this is awful.
See, didn't that just break your heart?
Yeah.
You know who's one that I had never... When we were in college, we were big in the Imgur community. Do you remember this?
Yeah, I do.
Jimmy Carr was a comedian who there would be a lot of GIFs of.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you heard Jimmy Carr's voice?
Yeah, I mean, it was on Top Gear.
Were you extremely surprised?
No.
Jimmy Carr doesn't sound at all like what he looks like. I don't know how to, I don't know what that means. Wasn't what I expected.
That's fair.
Anyway. Jimmy Carr's a comedian. But then I watched one of his specials, and I remember very much liking it.
But I couldn't. I watched a Bill Burr stand up a long time ago, and I was I do not like this guy. I don't like his brand of humor and whatever. And then I was sold on Bill Burr between King of Staten Island and The Mandalorian. Then I went back and watched another one, and I was oh wait, this is funny. I don't know.
Well,
I go so back and forth with comedian. I don't think I've ever been as
big thing
hot or cold on comedians as I have, or on anything as I have on comedians.
With comedians too, I think it's so much about like where you are and what stage of life you're in.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I guess that's like it's all supposed to be relatable content,
Right.
and it's like the way in which you relate to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious if I booted up Vicious Circle, what I would think of
Terrified.
Dane Cook.
Terrified. Although that being said, like I have enough nostalgic memories with the Dane Cook records that like I could still listen to Harmful If Swallowed and be fine.
You know, it's so funny. I would put that album on like shuffle, like with all of my music. And
Yeah,
when it came
same.
up, I would just listen to
Same.
single bits.
Every now and then it would just like it took a tire to the face. I think about Dane Cook all the time because he was
Where
the guy,
do you go?
He was
on the one fucking road you're on. To me,
Yeah, every time I go through a drive-thru, I think about Dane Cook, and every time I am in a parking garage, I think about Dane Cook.
Wait, why in a parking garage?
Because he was the first one that introduced me to the concept that your tires are louder in a parking garage than anywhere else in the world.
Oh,
That your car like screams the whole time.
it does. That's the dang truth.
Yeah.
It's very annoying.
And that's the thing is, I think Dane Cook, especially in that era, made such like generally relatable content that like that still holds up.
I don't know, man. I'm so scared.
Like the BK Lounge is still funny.
Yeah, it is.
And like I think it was in Vicious Circle, maybe it was one of them where he tells a story about people giving directions to like somebody's house that have like cardinal directions in them.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah, so you're gonna head west.
yeah.
Like that is
west.
That is permanently relatable content, right? Like you can always, yeah.
Next week on Bacon and Eggs. You Dane
We
Cook
cover
Vicious
Dane Cook
Circle.
special. We could do like Employee of the Month.
No. We're actually doing a movie from that era next week, unless we're pushing back the movie that was supposed to be this week. Within the next 2 weeks, we're doing a movie from that era.
We are?
We're doing Jennifer's Body.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't really link those two things together in any way.
I would immediately link those two things
Really?
together in my mind. Yeah.
Really
Because when I think Employee of the Month, I think Transformers.
interesting.
It's Dane Cook. Who's the girl in Employee of the Month?
I don't remember. I watched it not all that long ago, and it is still hilarious. If anything, it is aged well because of the like general
Jessica Simpson.
hatred for corporate America at this point.
Yeah.
Like in the age of the essential worker, Employee of the Month is aged very well. Waiting, still hilarious.
Still good. This is so classic, man.
Well, we did a really good job talking about 2 episodes of The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, the show
Listen,
that we're talking about.
If you've never listened to Bacon and Eggs before, this is kind of what you should expect to get out of it. But also, some episodes are super content
Yeah.
on the content heavy.
Yeah.
So, like, just pick an episode.
Just vibe
maybe
with
you
us.
like it, maybe you won't. Just vibe, bro.
That's the new Bacon and Eggs tagline. It's no longer a Movie Lovers podcast. It's Bacon and Eggs, come vibe with us.
Yeah. Sometimes we still name everything after movies. So, can I tell you just a quick story about something that's not funny?
Yeah.
So, my mother-in-law was making a grocery list earlier today.
Okay.
And she was like, is there anything you need? Just write it down on the grocery list, and when we go to Target, we'll pick it up. And what do you think I wrote down, Ethan?
Bacon and Eggs.
No. I wrote 1 DVD copy of Encino Man.
Encino Man. 1 rubber band bowl. 1 pleather jacket.
But then I also mixed in with the funny stuff I really didn't need. So I was like, I need a new broom and mop.
Did you get a copy of Encino Man?
No, they're still at Target, but if there's a DVD copy of Encino Man at the Roanoke Target, I will give them any sum of money to take it off their
I mean,
hands.
if there exists, I don't think it would be the Roanoke Target. I think if there exists anywhere an available for purchase DVD copy of Encino Man, it is in the bottom of a $5 bin at the Valley View Walmart.
Yes. I do think you're right about that. You can buy Encino Man on Target's app, but it is not in any stores.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
But here's what we could do, Ethan. I could buy it, get it shipped to my house, return it to the Roanoke Target, and then what are they going to do? They've got to sell
Probably
it.
throw it away.
Probably. They'd probably be like, oh, look, a DVD copy of Encino
Speak
Man.
of the devil.
Hey, my dad wants to go to bed.
Okay, I'll finish up. I love you. We got rap.
Okay.
But that's... Anyway, that's... If you work
I've
at
never
Target-
seen Encino Man. Fun fact.
You've never seen it?
I don't even know what it's about.
Brendan Fraser is like a caveman frozen in ice. I think it's thawed out, and then he goes to like Encino High School
Nice.
with like two stoner kids. One of them's Sean Astin.
Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll cover that eventually.
Oh my God, we so should.
Get
yeah,
like
let's wrap
Adam
this
T.
show.
Siska to come on and talk about Encino Man.
Do you have that plug?
I'm sure it is like a DM somewhere.
All right.
I can't imagine that he's busy.
I thought they were touring.
The Academy is?
Yeah, that's like the word.
No.
They're going on a tour. Anyway, Bacon and Eggs is a production of the WB&E Podcast Network. If you like this show, you want to listen to more like it, you should listen to Ethan's other podcast. It's called Late to the Party. They play Dungeons and Dragons. I don't think we have to do previews in this show, so do that. Here's
Do
my
that.
impression of the preview of Late to the Party. Dun, 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 dun. What's up? I'm Jordan Balky, and I'm Ethan Edgehill, and I'm Camille, and I'm Tyler, and we play Dungeons and Dragons. We're really good at it. Circular Room? I don't think so. Tieflings in Miami? What? Come listen to Late to the Party. If it's your first time, that's okay, because we were late to the party too.
That was a great promo. I couldn't
You're
have
welcome.
done it better myself.
I know. I think I nailed it.
Your Tyler Doobie impression's impeccable. I think they would be very happy.
Tyler Doobie.
I'm Tyler Doobie. I'm Tyler Doobie.
My goal is for Tyler to send me a text message, like, for that call out. That's how I'll know I've won.
That's how you'll know.
That's how I'll
The
know.
more you know. Anyway, this has been an episode of Bacon and Eggs. Graphics by Vaishnav Brandon. Music is by 4 Years Strong. And I'm Ethan Edgehill. That's Tyler Carlin. Bye.
Bye.